Rock on! Hey there, cereal enthusiasts and lovers of 80s and 90s culture. Today, we're taking a sugary trip down memory lane to count down the top 10 breakfast cereals of the 90s. Get ready for a bowl full of nostalgia, because these cereals were more than just breakfast. They were a way of life. At number 10, Waffle Crisp.
Well, that's why Waffle Crisp cereal tastes like homemade waffles.
Picture this. It's Saturday morning. Cartoons are blaring, and you're crunching on a bowl of Waffle Crisp. Launched in 1996, this cereal brought the irresistible taste of syrup-drenched waffles to your breakfast table, minus the sticky fingers. Remember that commercial with the grannies working tirelessly in the factory? They were onto something magical. Each tiny golden square was a perfect replica of a waffle, complete with those signature grid marks. But the real kicker? That sweet, mapley flavor that made you feel like you were indulging in a stack of waffles drowning in syrup. Waffle Crisp wasn't just a cereal, it was a loophole in the no dessert for breakfast rule. It managed to stay crispy in milk longer than you could resist reaching for a second bowl. And let's be honest, who among us didn't sneak handfuls straight from the box when mom wasn't looking? This cereal was the ultimate breakfast rebel. It dared to bring the essence of a lazy Sunday morning waffle feast to every breakfast. It was comfort food in a box. And for many 90s kids, it was the fill that powered countless adventures and daydreams. At number 9, French Toast Crunch.
French Toast Crunch, my part of this complete breakfast. French toast my way, with the crunch.
Speaking of breakfast foods turned cereal, let's dive into the cinnamon sugary world of French Toast Crunch. Launched in 1995, this cereal took the concept of its cousin Cinnamon Toast Crunch and said, "Hold my milk." Each piece was a miniature slice of French toast. I mean, how cool is that? It was like someone shrunk down your favorite breakfast and put it in a box. The attention to detail was incredible, with tiny ridges mimicking the texture of real French toast. But it wasn't just about the looks. Oh no, this cereal delivered on flavor too. The perfect blend of cinnamon and sugar with just a hint of maple created a taste explosion in your mouth. It was like having a gourmet breakfast expertly prepared by a fancy chef, except you were in your PJs watching cartoons. French Toast Crunch was more than a cereal. It was a morning event. It turned every breakfast into a celebration, making you feel like you were getting away with something naughty. I mean, Fritz toast for breakfast every day? Yes, please. At number 8, Oreo O's.
The nation's obsession with post Oreo O cereal has made milk a precious commodity.
All right, fellow cereal lovers, let's talk about the cereal that made your parents question everything they knew about breakfast. Oreo O's. Launched in 1997, this cereal was every cookie lover's dream come true. Imagine taking America's favorite cookie and transforming it into a breakfast food. That's exactly what Post did with Oreo O's. Each little O was like a mini Oreo cookie, complete with that distinct cocoa flavor we all know and love. But they didn't stop there. Oh no. They went the extra mile and added marshmallow bits to mimic that creamy Oreo filling. It was like they took the best part of dunking Oreos in milk and turned it into a full breakfast experience. Eating Oreo O's felt rebellious. It was like you were getting away with having dessert for breakfast. This wasn't just a cereal. It was a science experiment gone deliciously right. This cereal was so beloved that when it was discontinued in 2007, fans were heartbroken. The outcry was so great that it eventually made a comeback in 2017, proving that you can't keep a good cereal down. Oreo O's wasn't just for breakfast, it was a cultural phenomenon and defined mornings for a generation of 90s kids. At number 7, Reese's Puffs.
Says they serve Reese's for breakfast. I'm thinking candy. She says not candy, Reese's Puff cereal.
Hold on to your spoons, folks, because we're diving into the peanut butter and chocolate explosion that is Reese's Puffs. Launched in 1994, this cereal took the iconic flavors of Reese's peanut butter cups and turned breakfast into a celebration. Reese's Puffs was a cereal that made you do a double take in the grocery aisle. Wait, they made a cereal out of Reese's? Oh yes, they did, and it was glorious. Each puff was a perfect balance of peanut butter and cocoa flavors, just like the candy we all know and love. The real magic happened when you poured the milk. As the cereal sat in your bowl, it transformed the milk into this amazing peanut butter and chocolate concoction. It was like a dessert drink you were allowed to have with your breakfast. Mind blown. It was comfort food in a bowl, and for many 90s kids, it was the ultimate breakfast treat. It was bold, it was delicious, and it made every morning feel like a special occasion. At number 6, Cookie Crisp.
It's the Cookie Crisp cookie counter, making sure there's lots and lots of little chocolate chip cookie cereal in every box of Cookie Crisp.
Okay, it's time to talk about the breakfast cereal that made every kid say, "I can't believe they're letting me eat this." That's right, we're diving into the wonderfully wacky world of Cookie Crisp. Now, Cookie Crisp actually debuted in the 70s, but it hit its stride in the 90s, becoming a staple in every kid's breakfast dreams. This wasn't just a cereal, it was cookies for breakfast. It was the stuff of childhood fantasies. Each piece was a perfect miniature chocolate chip cookie. They nailed the look, the crunch, and most importantly, the taste. It was like someone took your grandma's cookie jar, shrunk it down, and poured it into a bowl. Add milk, and you got a breakfast that feels delightfully, sort of sinful, but is parent approved. The mascots for Cookie Crisp were a big part of its charm. Remember Cookie Jarvis, the wizard who could magically turn anything into Cookie Crisp? Or how about Cookie Crook and Officer Crumb, locked in an eternal battle over the delicious cookie pieces? These characters made eating Cookie Crisp feel like you are part of a grand adventure. Cookie Crisp was kind of a childhood rite of passage. For many 90s kids, pouring a bowl of Cookie Crisp was like starting the day with a little ray of sunshine of your own. Sweet, crunchy, delicious. At number 5, Trix.
The fruity taste might act like a clown. My act needs some tricks.
Okay.
Silly rabbit, tricks are for kids. If that phrase doesn't instantly transport you back to the 90s, I don't know what will. Let's talk about Trix, the cereal that turned our milk into a rainbow and our mornings into an adventure. Now, Trix has been around since 1954, but it reached its Technicolor peak in the 90s. Remember when they changed from the original ball shape to fruit shapes in 91? Mind-blowing. Suddenly, our bowls were filled with raspberry red stars, lemony yellow moons, orangey orange spheres, and more. It was like eating a bowl of fruity happiness. The colors were so vibrant, it almost felt like they should be illegal. Parents would walk by and do a double take, probably wondering if this explosion of color could possibly be part of a balanced breakfast. We knew better. It was pure, sugary joy in a bowl. And let's talk about that poor Trix rabbit. Has there ever been a more persistent cereal mascot? Commercial after commercial, we watched him cook up elaborate schemes to get his hands on some tricks, only to be foiled at the last moment. Silly rabbit. Tricks are for kids. We shouted at the TV, feeling a mix of superiority and, admit it, a tiny bit of guilt. The best part, as the rabbit sulked away, we got to dig into our own bowls of Trix, reveling in the fruity flavors and the way the milk would turn into a pastel rainbow as we ate. It was like having a party in your mouth for breakfast. Pouring a bowl of Trix every morning was like unleashing a little bit of magic into everything. At number 4, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
From our crazy delicious family to yours. Crave those crazy squares.
Let's go into the cinnamon sugar coated world of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Launched in 1984, Cinnamon Toast Crunch truly came into its own in the 90s. Remember those square-shaped wheat and rice pieces, generously coated with cinnamon and sugar? It was like someone took the best part of cinnamon toast and, the sweet, slightly crunchy topping, and turned it into a whole cereal. But the real magic of CTC happened when you added milk. As you ate, the milk would gradually transform into this amazing cinnamon-infused nectar. By the time you got to the bottom of the bowl, you weren't just drinking milk. You were sipping on liquid cinnamon roll. It was a breakfast revelation. The best part? Cinnamon Toast Crunch was the perfect all-day cereal. Breakfast? Obviously. After-school snack? You bet. Late-night munchies? Nothing better. It was the cereal that broke free from the breakfast table and became a lifestyle choice. At number 3, Captain Crunch.
All I wanna do is jump and crunch. Sweet! Jump and crunch.
My cup
Cinnamon Crunch cereal is a cool part of this balanced breakfast.
Ahoy, mateys. It's time to sail the high seas of nostalgia with none other than Captain Crunch. This cereal wasn't just a breakfast, it was a miniature adventure in every bowl. Captain Crunch has been around since the 60s, but in the 90s, it was at the height of its powers. Those iconic yellow squares, perfectly sweetened and unbelievably crunchy, were a staple in every 90 kid's breakfast arsenal. And let's be real. Has there ever been a cereal that lived up to its name more than Captain Crunch? That signature crunch was so intense, it could wake up the whole house. But the real star of the show was Captain Crunch himself. With his Napoleonic hat and that perfectly coiffed mustache, he was the breakfast hero we didn't know we needed. The commercials were a riot. Watching the captain navigate treacherous waters, usually filled with milk, to deliver his precious cargo of crunchy goodness to hungry kids. And let's not forget the spin-offs. Crunch Berries added a fruity twist to our mornings, while Peanut Butter Crunch satisfied our peanut butter cravings. It was like the captain knew exactly what we wanted before we even knew we wanted it. Now, we've got to address the elephant in the room. Or should I say, the roof of the mouth in the room. Yes, Captain Crunch was notorious for its ability to scrape the top of your mouth. But you know what? We wore those battle scars with pride. It was a small price to pay for the sweet, crunchy deliciousness. At number 2, Frosted Flakes.
Supercharged Kellogg's Frosted Flakes cereal as part of a good breakfast can help bring out the tiger in you.
They're great. That's right, folks. We're talking about the one, the only Frosted Flakes. This cereal is just a pure, flat-out breakfast staple. It's a cultural icon that defined mornings for generations of kids, especially us kids growing up in the 90s. Now, Frosted Flakes has been around since the 50s. But in the 90s, it was at the peak of its frosted powers. Those perfectly crisp cornflakes, coated with just the right amount of sweetness, it was like someone took regular cornflakes and gave them a magic sugary makeover. And some of us, as I'm ashamed to admit, even added a little extra sugar into the milk. But let's be honest. As great as the cereal was, the real star of the show was Tony the Tiger. Has there ever been a more enthusiastic mascot? That deep, booming voice declaring, "They're great," was enough to get any kid pumped for the day ahead. In the 90s, Tony wasn't just a mascot, but he was a breakfast motivational speaker. Remember those commercials? Tony was always helping kids achieve their dreams, whether it was scoring the winning goal in soccer or acing a test. The message was clear. Eat your Frosted Flakes, and you too can be a champion. Was it based on sound nutritional science? Probably not. Did we care? Absolutely not. The best part about Frosted Flakes was its versatility. It was great with cold milk, sure, but it was equally delicious dry as a snack. And let's not forget the soggy versus crunchy debate. Were you team eat it quick while it's still crunchy, or team let it soak and get slightly soggy? Post down in the comments which one were you. There's no wrong answer. I can't wait to see the result. Looking back, Frosted Flakes was more than just a part of a balanced breakfast, as they said. It was a bowl full of childhood memories, sugary optimism, and the unshakable belief that with the right breakfast, anything was possible. At number 1, Lucky Charms.
Time for me shooting star marshmallow to save the day!
First hitting the shelves in 1964, Lucky Charms reached its magical peak in the 90s. This wasn't just a cereal. It was a breakfast adventure, a treasure hunt in every bowl. Let's break it down. You had standard toasted oat pieces, which were fine, but we all know they were just the opening act. The real stars of the show? Those colorful, mystical marshmallow shapes. Hearts, stars, horseshoes, clovers, blue moons, pots of gold, rainbows, and red balloons. Each one a tiny, sugary work of art. And who could forget our leprechaun friend Lucky? "They're always after me, Lucky Charms," he'd cry, as children chased him through fantastical landscapes. Those commercials were like mini-movies, full of magic and mischief. We'd watch, spellbound, as Lucky used his cereal-based powers to escape, all while hoping we'd find some of that magic in our own bowls. The best part of eating Lucky Charms was the strategy involved. Do you eat all of the oat pieces first, saving the marshmallows for a grand finale? Or do you carefully ration the marshmallows throughout, ensuring a perfect balance in each spoonful? These were the big decisions we faced every morning, and they shaped us into the strategic thinkers we are today. And let's not forget the milk transformation either. As you ate, the milk would slowly take on the colors of the marshmallows, turning this into pastel rainbow-hued elixir. By the end, drinking that milk was like sipping liquid magic. Lucky Charms represented more than just a sweet start to the day. It was a bowl full of possibility. A reminder that a little magic could be found in the most ordinary places, even at the breakfast table. And there you have it, folks. That's our top 10 cereals of the 90s. Each one a sugary time capsule transporting us back to a time of Saturday morning cartoons, neon everything, and breakfast that doubled as dessert. These weren't just cereals, they were a lifestyle. They fueled our imagination, powered us through school days, and gave us something to look forward to every morning. They may not have been the healthiest options, but they were certainly the most fun. So the next time you're in the cereal aisle, why not pick up a box of nostalgia? Pour yourself a bowl of the 90s and remember, in the world of breakfast cereals, it's always Saturday morning somewhere. Thanks for joining us on this sugary trip down memory lane. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more nostalgia goodness. And tell us in the comments, which 90s cereal was your favorite? Until next time, stay sweet and keep that inner 90s kid alive.